fire department does more than just put out fires. We also respond to accidents. We respond if you're sick. We respond to different types of emergencies. And today we're going to demonstrate what happens if we respond to a car accident and the person cannot get out of the car. We call that an auto extrication. The young man that's going to really give the information about what's going on, he and I will be talking while we're up here. This is Fireman Hutch. Everybody say hi, Fireman Hutch. Fireman Hutch, you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody.
So, Fireman Hutch, real quick, can you tell us what exactly are they going to do when they get started with this evolution?
So the goal is to get that patient out, and we move the car away from the patient instead of moving the patient around within the car, because we want to keep the patient from being jostled around. They're already injured, so we're going to do what we can to limit further injury. So we're going to do whatever. They're going to go through a few techniques to make sure the cars aren't going to move, so they're not going to fall on us or the patient, and then they're going to cut stuff to get around the patient so they can get the patient out.
All right, so we're going to get started in just a minute, but Fireman Hutch, can you tell me, this accident right here, could that possibly be the result of texting and driving?
It definitely could be.
So what we want to do is encourage people not to text and drive, correct?
We definitely don't. We want to encourage people not to text and drive, yep.
But what about emailing and driving? Is emailing and driving okay?
Definitely not.
Don't email and drive, don't text and drive. Okay, everybody get that? All right, now don't let us see you behind the red light with your phone up like this, all right? We watching y'all. All right. So I think we're going to go on and get started. I would introduce each one of the firefighters involved, but you won't remember their names, so we won't put you through that. So what's the cue for them to go? Do we just say go?
Say go.
All right, you tell them when to go.
Go, Billy.
All right, go, Billy. Okay, so right now he just went over there and said something to the patient.
So first thing they need to do is check on the patient, see how he's doing. In a real-world incident, since it's just demonstration, we're not going to do that. But in a real-world incident, we're going to try and get someone in the back seat. They're going to be covering up the patient, putting a C-collar on like they're doing right now, which will help keep their neck still. And they're going to be talking to that patient the whole time, letting them know, hey, it's going to be a bunch of loud noises. It's going to be scary, but we're going to get you out. And they're just going to be talking to the patient the whole time, sitting inside.
Okay, so anytime that we're doing an extrication when it's possible, you're saying that there's a firefighter inside encouraging the patient that everything is being done that needs to be done?
Yep, and there's going to be broken glass and other scary stuff, so we're going to cover them up with a blanket to help protect them, and we're going to be helping hold their neck still the whole time.
Okay, I was just told to turn the volume up a little bit because they can't hear back there, so let me, now if I turn it up too loud, then it's going to drown people out. Is it too loud for you? All right, good deal. All right, so Jeremy, is that okay? That okay, all right, good deal. All right, so what is it that they're doing right here with these, to the white car? What are they doing there?
So with this white car being on its side, there's a significant risk that it could fall either one way or the other. So we have immobilization struts on our rig, and what we're doing is we're ensuring that it won't. That way we can safely access this other patient. It makes it safer for them, and it makes it safer for us. So basically they're on the underside of the vehicle and the top side of the vehicle, and they're going to balance it, and you could go up there and push on as hard as you could, and it won't move once they're done.
Okay, now we see BBK right there. We see Bobby Kingan right there working at the driver's side door. What exactly is he doing?
So to get better access to their patient, what they're going to do is they're going to pop and then eventually remove this driver's side door. What he's doing with what we call a Halligan bar is making a purchase point, so they come in with the jaws of life, what we call the spreaders, and open that door for us.
So you're saying that the jaws of life are really not called jaws of life by us. What you say we call them?
We call them the spreaders. And then we have also, we'll see later, we have big scissors that we call the cutters. Pretty easy stuff for us.
All right, good deal. So what you're saying they're going to do, they're going to take that door and pop it off, all right? And once they pop that door off and get the patient out, if there were patients in other parts of the car, are there other things that can be done?
There's lots of things, and we're going to show a couple things. So in this case, with this car having minimal damage, likely if we just pop this door, we'd be able to take that patient out. But we're going to pretend that this car is much more damaged. We're going to end up doing a roof flap on the roof, so it's going to make it a partial convertible, kind of like an old T-top. And we're also going to lift the dash, like if your legs were caught underneath the dash, we can actually make it where that dash lifts way up, and we have a lot more room to get you out.
All right, now I just saw a lot of glass flying up when they popped that door. Did anybody else see that glass flying up? So what exactly do the firefighters do? What if the glass gets in their eye? What do they do to keep that from happening?
We wear safety glasses all the time, anytime we're working with any of this. And like I said before, that's what we're telling that patient the whole time, that the glass is going to be flying, there's loud popping noises. When this door pops, it's kind of a violent thing, as you just saw there. So we're always reassuring that patient that we're doing our job and we'll get them out.
All right, good deal. So we have the patient, and everyone see the patient with the blanket over him? Just like he said, the blanket isn't there because he didn't make it. The blanket is there to protect him, right?
Yes,
from the glass and everything that's flying around?
Yes, it is. And now you can see he's using the cutters now, and he's cutting the hinges of the door, so now they can completely remove that door. So as he brings the cutters back, you'll be able to see it's basically a big old crab claw. It's like a big pair of scissors.
So, and what you're telling me is everyone on this side get to see everything going on, and people on that side get to see nothing. No, but don't worry, because there will be some action on that side of the car as well. So just stay where you are. All right, you're not all Cub fans. You're not losers. You guys are wonderful. All right, we're going to get over there to you. So they're taking this. So you're saying instead of just opening the door, they're going to actually take it all the way off?
Yeah, it allows us more room to the patient, and also makes room for when we eventually do the dash lift to be able to lift that up. We need to have the door off and make that happen.
All right, did everybody see him take the door off? Put your hands together for him taking the door off, people. Okay, so now they have the door off, and it looks like the steering wheel is down on the patient's knees, like, you know. So you're telling me they're going to do what? They're going to roll the dash?
It's actually called a dash lift. Eventually, first of all, they're going to pop the other door so everybody else can see, and we're going to pretend like there's a patient on the other side. But after that, they're going to remove part of the roof, and then eventually the end goal is we're going to actually make that dash lift way high up with those spreaders, and we can move it 2 feet sometimes to give us all that room to get that patient out.
Okay, so Fireman Hutch, how long have you been in the fire service?
About 8 years, and 3 years here with Urbana.
Okay, and this is really your specialty doing extrication? Would you say that you're a guru at this?
I don't know about all that. Firefighters in general, we learn a lot of different skills. I don't think we're necessarily experts at anything, but we learn a lot of different skills, and we're proficient at all of them.
Okay, now that's a politically correct answer. Would you say you're pretty good at doing this?
I'm all right at it.
All right, good deal, good deal. Now, what is that they're doing to the windshield?
So we call that tool a glass master because its job is to cut the windshield out. So windshield glass is laminated. It has a sheet of plastic in between the glass. So it's a lot different than your side windows that just would break. So we have to actually cut them out. And so this is another way to get more access to the patient, and it'll also allow us, when we do the roof removal, that windshield won't be in our way.
Okay, so you're saying that the windshield glass is different than like the glass in your house at your window in the house. It's a little different than that. So if we tried to use that tool at home, it wouldn't work like that?
It wouldn't work well. So the reason it's like that in your car, in your windshield, is it's spiders instead of shattering all over, so it doesn't get glass all over you if your windshield breaks. A lot of newer cars, actually, the side windows and rear windows are going to that as well. So newer cars, every single window we would have to use that or an axe or a different tool to cut through it.
Okay, now see that they put some wood things under the bottom of the car, and then we have that special yellow weird looking thing in the back. What are those for?
Those are for stabilization, similar to what we did with our fancy struts on the white car. If a car's on its wheels, it's a lot easier for us. What that does is, as we manipulate it with these tools that we're using are powerful enough that they move the whole car. We don't want that to happen because, once again, we don't want the patient moving at all. So we put those under there, and that gives our tool something to push against that's not moving at all. It's just for stabilization.
All right, good deal. So if you're texting and driving and you run into someone like this, and if we're the ones cutting you out of a car, then chances are your insurance premiums are going to go up. Is that correct?
I would assume that.
Especially if you were texting and driving, but...
And if we're cutting your car up, your car is probably totaled at this point.
You think it's totaled? So if I only made 2 payments, you saying I could get a brand new car after that?
Hey, good luck.
All right, so I see he was using a different tool. Now he's actually using an axe. What's up with that?
So they're demonstrating that we can use different tools for the same job. Because one guy can be over here with the glass master, and another firefighter can be on the other side using that, and it just helps us be efficient and faster.
All right. Can everybody see how they're pulling that windshield out almost like a piece of material instead of glass?
That's that lining of the plastic that's holding the glass together. You can also see that with the cutters, they've made a relief cut, what we call a relief cut, in the center of the roof, and they're going to do that on either side. And then they're going to cut what we call the A-post, which is the front there where he's cutting right now, and that will allow us to flap that roof back and gives us a lot more access.
Good deal. So you're saying that no matter where a person is in this car, we have the ability to get to them?
We definitely do. We can, even if this car was 100% under a semi and all we could see was the back of the trunk, we have a tunneling technique where we go through the trunk and crawl through the car, cutting seats out and everything on our way to get to a patient. So there's lots of different ways to get to people, and we learn a lot of different techniques to do it because plan A never works. So.
Good deal.
Okay, so now they're going to flap it. They took a tool that's going to make a fulcrum in the center of the roof, and they're going to work on pushing that roof up and back and get it out of the way.
All right, here we go, people. This is what your convertible could look like if you can't afford a real one. Check this out. They're going to... Oh, look at this. Are these guys strong or what? Let's see if they can actually move the roof of this car. All right, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
So you can see how much more room that made for us in the patient. So we have lots of room to start any EMS interventions that we want to do, help them out that way. And then now we can do the dash lift, and then they'll be 100% free.
Okay, so you're saying
Looks like
that
they might be moving them now first, but.
Okay, so they're going to actually move the patient before they.
Okay.
You're going to roll the dash?
Dash lift, yeah.
Between pulley. So what are they doing right now with the spreaders?
So in order to lift this dash, we have to make a series of relief cuts. That's gonna, because your car is built not to move in these ways, but by compromising the strength of that car, we can then move it. So he's right now exposing that forward arm, and he's gonna make a cut there and a couple down below, as you'll see with those cutters again, and then we'll be able to lift. The dash lift is one way to do something. There's another way we learned is the dash roll, where we pull from the front on the steering wheel and basically pull it up like this. There's just multiple ways to do every job.
So in order to work from the front, this white car is making that impossible to do, correct?
This is a great example of why we learn more than one technique, because that idea wouldn't work with the way this accident is, so we need to adjust. Cars in real world, when they get in accidents, aren't nice and pretty and don't have any damage, so we have to always adjust to our surroundings.
All right. So can everyone see where the patient is right now? The steering wheel is actually down on the patient, so they're doing what they have to do to be able to get that patient out, get the car away from the patient so they can safely get the patient out without causing more injuries. Now, I've seen times when the firefighters let air out of the tires. What's the purpose of doing that?
So once we put in those, what we call step chocks, the stabilization underneath the car, it's still just sitting even with it. Then if we pop the tires, it sets it down on that, so then it's no longer any weight on the car's suspension system that's made to move, then it's not allowed to move. We don't for demonstration purposes because it makes it easier for the towing company to get this car out, but in real world, those tires wouldn't have any air in them anymore.
All right, good deal. So this is the technique that we're using to get people out of the front. Can you talk a little bit about what would happen if there were people in the back? Could you do the same thing for people in the back?
We certainly could. We could remove the back door the same way we did, or if we had left the front door intact, we can do what we call a fifth door, where we take the front door and the back door off at the same time, and so that whole side of the car is just completely open. So we use that a lot if it on a side impact and those doors are squished in, it makes it hard to remove it the way we just did. We can remove the whole side of the car and get perfect access.
All right. So out of everything that you're seeing, does anyone have any questions? Anybody got a question about what's going on? We can answer any question you got. Somebody asked, can they have the keys to the car when we get done? Do you think we should let them have the car?
I'm okay with it.
All right. Block A, do you have any questions? No? All right, now when he does the dash lift, what tool is he going to use to do that dash lift?
So you use the cutters to make those relief cuts, and now that that's done, what they're going to do is they're going to use the spreaders, and those have 32 inches of spread. So right now they're all the way closed. They can lift 32 inches wide, and so they have plenty of room to lift that dash up. As he starts going, you'll see, you can already see it, the dash is starting to lift up. You only ever need like an inch, but we have the ability to move a long way.
So this is a prime example of when there's an accident, we don't pull you away from the car, we pull the car away from you, right?
Right.
Now, once they get the patient out, if the ambulance is not there yet, do we have people on the fire department that can actually take care of the patient until the ambulance gets there?
We do. Every one of our engines is an advanced level provider, all intermediate level providers, which means we can start IVs, we have a few different medications and beyond the basic level provider, and we can provide advanced care prior to the ambulance's arrival.
All right, we're about to pull the patient out of the car. Don't worry, people, it's not a real person.
And you can see that, especially people on that side, can probably see how high that steering wheel is now from where it was. You can see how much they move that with those spreaders, how powerful that tool is.
All right, we're actually removing the patient now. And once we do, we'll let you guys see exactly what the car looks like when we come and do what we have to do at an accident in order to get you out. So is there anyone you want to say hi to? You want to say hi to your family, you know, anybody?
Hi, Fraser.
You don't want to say hi to Derek? I see Derek over there. You want to say hi to Derek? You want to come over here and say something to the people, Derek? Oh, look, he's not. Okay, all right. Everybody say hi, Chief Derek. And we have Fireman Mike right there next to him. Hi, Fireman Mike. That's him with the long hair with the pink shirt standing there talking to Chief Derek. All right, we got the patient out. Everybody put your hands together for them getting the patient out. And this car looks a little bit different than it did when we first came out here. So what's different about the car?
Well, it's now a convertible. It's got a lot more leg room.
All right.
And you're not going to drive it.
All right, good deal. It'll get excellent gas mileage because it's not going anywhere, right? All right, well, put your hands together for the firefighters for doing an extrication demonstration.